Hey everyone, hope everybody's getting ready for a good weekend. So, today we had an interesting occurrence. So Miss Ruby hasn't been eating much in the way of food for like a week and a half or so. And so we figured, well, she's probably getting ready for brumation. It's getting cooler and it's, almost October. But then today we came to check on her and give her her greens for the day. And look what we found. Look at that. Hi, Miss Ruby, beautiful girl. Yeah, she stepped on one back here, which is okay. Now, guys, 100% of these are infertile because there was no mating that took place. So these are just literally infertile eggs. She's such a good girl. So I wanted to just take a minute to let you guys see what's going on. Now, Miss Ruby has never laid a clutch before. She never has. This is her very first one, which I think is part of the reason that it's a little bit scattered everywhere. She freaked out a little bit because she didn't really understand all of the nuances, what was going on. She felt weird. She felt like she had pressure and she felt like I got to do something, but she wasn't really sure exactly what was going on. So basically, we left her alone. We let her finish doing her thing. And now what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to clean up the eggs. Hopefully she'll let me and she won't be too grumpy because she's been grumpy a while. So, but that's normal. I mean, they do get kind of defensive when they do have eggs. And so I wondered if she was going to be doing some laying, but I actually expected her to do this a few months ago towards the end of, April or into May. But we're almost in October. So and then I thought, well, maybe she's not going to again. Now, again, she's never laid a clutch. Now, when I got her, she was 2 years old. And her prior owner was told that she was a male, so he wasn't expecting, obviously, for her to have any eggs. But, and she was very malnourished and very tiny. And, has really, she struggled too, trying to get well enough to go and do all of her stuff. So, she was a little slow on the uptake. Now, she is now currently, let's see, she's about 3.5. She has, again, never had a clutch of eggs. This is literally her first. And so, I'm not sure how she's going to be. We'll have to see. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, Ruby. Hi, sweetheart. Are you okay? Yeah, you okay? I pet you a little bit. You're a good girl, Ruby. Yeah, see, she's much nicer now. She's not as aggressive as she had been getting. So, anyway, I'm going to collect them and we're going to count them. Now, bearded dragons in the wild, normally they will find a dark place. They will give birth. They can find a spot, they'll bury them. And then they will leave them alone. They do not wait for them to hatch. They don't, none of that goes on. Oh, these are nice quality, Ruby. These are good. You got nice, good shells on these, sweetheart. You do. They're in pretty good shape. Yeah, this one's nice and hard, nice and calcified. And so they don't have the maternal instinct toward babies like, some other animals do. And so, she doesn't get bent out of shape. Now, even some snakes will get bent out of shape if you're taking their eggs from them. But she's a good girl. And as you can see, she looks like she's been kind of deflated. Well, she kind of has. I mean, that's quite a few eggs for her to have, especially the first go around. And so, she did very well. So what do you need to do if your dragon lays eggs? Well, for starters, you want to immediately or as soon as possible, you want to replace the calcium and the phosphorus and the minerals that she lost by making those eggs. Okay, so she's going to get some extra treats today. She had a bath this morning. She'll get another one because they do lose some fluid when they lay. So, you know, you want to make sure to replace that so nobody gets dehydrated. So, you know, so she's going to get extra water. She had her bath this morning, and she's still going to get another bath before she goes to bed, and then she'll have her daily bath again tomorrow. So that she doesn't get dehydrated and she still has plenty of fluid, because you know it's a lot of work, you guys. But yeah, she did very well. Very nice quality eggs. And again, these are infertile. There's been no mating, so she's not at risk of having any babies. These are literally just infertile eggs. So, and then one way you can tell is they're very tiny. If she had had fertile eggs, oh my goodness, they'd be huge. I'm just doing some double checking to make sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sometimes their hide is a place that they will put a bunch of them because it's quiet, it's dark, you know. So I just wanted to check and make sure, and sure enough, there were a few in there. You'll have to excuse the barking dogs that are kind of crazy. So yeah, so she just kind of had them everywhere. Couldn't really decide on a spot, so she just ran all the way around. So I'm just going to make sure that I haven't forgotten any, because they will go rotten if you don't collect them. Because again, there's nothing in here. There's just infertiles. Oh, yep, here's another one that was in her log hide. Yep. So you did very well, Miss Ruby. You did. You're a good girl. Yeah, so she's going to get extra treats, and she's going to get some dubia roaches right away if she's interested in eating. Now, not all gravid females will eat after laying. Sometimes it takes them about 24 hours. So, and that's okay, because again, it's a lot of work, so some don't feel like eating right away. However, they should want to eat within 24 hours. So if they don't, you need to get them to a vet, because they might be egg bound. They could be, you know, there might be one stuck, they might be sore, there might be a lot of reasons that they're not. So definitely get them checked out. I think that's all of them, Miss Ruby Dooby, unless you're hiding any more under there, but I don't think, oh, yep, you sure are. You sure are. There's at least 2 more. Do you have any more, baby? No, that's it? Okay. So, yeah. So imagine my surprise when sweet little Miss Ruby was nice and round. And you know, what were the signs? Well, she was off her feed. She went off protein right away, and then she went off green slowly. She still was drinking water, but that was about all she was interested in doing. And understandably so. That was a lot of work, and she was really full. So, yeah, that was mostly it. She was very lethargic, didn't want to move around. But again, these are all signs of brumation as well. So, and I really thought she was going to be laying eggs earlier in the spring, and she didn't. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But it just took her a little longer. But now she's just beautiful. And this is another reason why I didn't want to limit her food by very much, even though, you know, we were getting her down a few grams at a time. But you know, you never know. So you want to make sure that before you do something like that, that you make sure that they're not full of eggs and that they just look bulky, but really they're not. They're just bulky because they had a bunch of eggs. Now, again, she may or may not want to eat right now. I'm going to see, because I'm going to give her some. I'm also going to give her a pinky mouse in the next couple of days. A frozen one that I'm going to thaw for her to replace some of the fat and calcium and things that she lost during that. Now, it's not as hard on her to go ahead and have infertiles as it would be to have fertile eggs. But fortunately, that's not what, you know, was going on with her. But it still, you know, takes a lot of effort. So anyway, I think I've gotten them all. So I'll do a final count and the amount, and I'll let you know how many is in there. But I'm going to say there's probably 20, 22, something like that in there. But I will give you a full count in the description after I get them all counted. So, yeah. So Miss Ruby was a good girl. And remember, if you have a dragon and they've just laid a bunch of eggs, don't handle them right away. Don't pick them up. Don't try to do, I mean, you know, just let them just relax a little bit. You can see how tired she looks, and I'm sure she is. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to switch all this out. I just gave her new paper towels today. Tomorrow she'll get new ones again because there's, you know, yolk and stuff on it. But right now I'm not going to get her up and make her miserable. I mean, there's no reason to do that. We can do it tomorrow just as easily. So we will. But yep. So Miss Ruby, now that she's 3.5 and she's been here, oh gosh, about 15 months, I think, almost 16 months. And her rehab went very well too. She was so small and so skinny. She only weighed 118 grams when she got here at 2 years old. So, you know, that's the size of about an 8-month-old juvenile. So, you know, you can imagine. And some females never do lay, you guys. They just don't, especially if you don't have a male in the house. And sometimes even if you do, it's just not going to happen. So I wasn't sure because she was so malnourished and she was so small. And she's small all around. You know, it's normal for bearded dragons to be 22 to 24 inches long, and she barely, from nose to tail tip, barely made 17.5 inches. So she's a good 6 inches undersized in length, and she just barely made it over the 400 grams. I'm going to weigh her in a couple of days and just see how she's doing. So, but that's what we're going to do, is we're going to keep the fluid going. So she's going to get lots of opportunities for water. I'm going to give her a drop or two before she goes to bed of water. And we're going to give her lots of food and tell her she's a good girl. Yep, and just let her rest and kind of recover. And hopefully she'll be back on her food. So yeah, you guys, Miss Ruby sure surprised all of us. All right, guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.